Yeah, hi there. These comments are for YM, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So you sent me an email, and let's take a look at your situation. So you're a 5th-year medical student from Saudi Arabia. You've taken the TOEFL exam in May. And you say, I scored. I would say here not have taken in May, because you're talking about an action which has a beginning and end in the past. So the simple past, not the present perfect, works better. So you should say here, I took the TOEFL exam in May and I scored 91. I am planning to retake. You want to put an object after this. I am planning to retake the exam in 10 days, and I have paid the money already. Can you please give me some advice about what to do? Thank you very much. I watched some of your videos. They are really helpful. All right, you're welcome. So in order for me to help you, I asked you a specific question. I said, what score are you trying to get, including the subtotals in the reading, listening, speaking, and writing sections? And then you wrote me back, and now I think we have the big picture. So I think I can give you some good information now. So you say, because I'm applying in a university in the U.S. to do an elective, one of the requirements is to get at least 100. And as a matter of fact, this is what I found most universities requiring a TOEFL exam to apply for their electives. So that would be my goal, is to achieve at least 100. Then in regard to the minimum score in each section, I really do not have specific numbers in mind, but in each section, if I can get a minimum score of 25, that would be great. Or for example, to get even higher than 25 in sections like reading and listening, because these skills which I got the highest marks. So, you have 23 points in the reading, 23 points in the listening section, 23 points in the speaking, and 22 points in the writing for your total of 91. Your exam is in 10 days. I chose a close date because I found my score is not too bad, and because I'm applying for some universities to work in the summer that require minimum score of 100. So if you can please help me with some tips on how to improve in these different skills, especially in writing and speaking, or if you have any suggestions. I also want to notify that in our college, for 5 years now, all our studies, most of the teaching and exams are in English. All right, so yeah, I got some advice for you. So the first thing is you don't have enough time. I think you're underestimating how difficult it is to get 100. You say, well, Michael, my score is 91, but 91 is already pretty good. You have advanced English skills, but you're still not at your goal. It means that you're going to have to work really, really hard, I think, to reach your goal of 100. All right, so my first, I think, response is 100 or 10 days is not going to be enough time, I think, for you to reach your goals. Okay, so let's take a look at some suggestions here. So the first thing right now is, I think realistically, you're looking at a 60-day TOEFL study plan based on your goals. 60 days, not 10 days. 9 points. When you're going from 91 to 100, that's going to be tough. First thing you want to do is each day for the next 60 days reading for about 45 minutes. You probably heard me tell students about this. Keep it up. You also want to practice listening for about 45 minutes. So that's an hour and a half every day for the next 60 days. Now, as you do the reading and the listening practice, focus on note-taking. You want to make sure you're getting down the main and the most important supporting points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, for the fourth thing, I want you to start writing 3 250-word academic summaries each week. You're writing using your notes, you're writing a summary on the main points of a reading or listening passage. This is very good writing practice. Now number 5, you should also give 3, I'm going to say 60-second oral summaries each week. This is also important. You should be doing this. Your oral summary focuses again on the main points of the reading and the listening passages. Now, with reading, I recommend you look at magazines, newspapers, and longer books. I think that these materials are going to be very, very helpful for you. Let me indent this a little bit. Can you see that better? Okay. For listening materials, if you don't have English TV, if you have English TV, you can use news, documentary history, and also science programs on your TV. That's going to be really good listening practice. If you don't have English TV, you can use, there's 3 websites I always like to tell my students about. Number 1 is National Public Radio. Number 2 is TED Talks. Number 3 is Randall Cyber Listening Lab. So those also give you some good listening practice. Now, so far, if you just do these first 5 things, you're getting at least anywhere from 1 to 2 hours of practice every day for the next 60 days. Remember, doing this for 10 days, no, that's not going to be enough. But if you do these suggestions for about 60 days, that's going to meaningfully, significantly, and in long term, develop and build and help you have better academic English language proficiency. Then, the last thing is I recommend that you go through the lessons. I'm going to say my 60-day TOEFL study guide is probably the most appropriate one for you. Now remember, you don't have to use my study guide. If you want to go directly to my course, you can work on whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. You have complete access to over 700 vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar, reading, listening, writing, and speaking lessons. So you have access to everything, right? But the 60-day TOEFL study guide, it'll just give you some specific lessons that you can start working on for the next 2 months to help you build your academic English language proficiency. All right? So that would be my advice there. So I'll put the link to my 60-day TOEFL study guide in the email I'm sending back to you so you can see it. So that's what I recommend for you. So what I'm saying is to go from 91 to 100, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I'm recommending a 60-day TOEFL study plan. Make sure that you're reading every day right now. You're practicing listening every day. These first 2 points have nothing to do with my online TOEFL course. They're not coming from a TOEFL book. You're finding reading and listening materials that you actually have an interest in, and you're practicing those things. Of course, you're note-taking. You write and you speak about this information, and then you start going through the lessons in my 60-day TOEFL study guide. Here's what I'd recommend. I'm going to say right now, 60% of your time should be spent on steps 1 through 5. Then 40% of your time should be spent on step 6. That helps you focus. Now, I'm not saying, let's just say that you spend 3 hours a day, right, and you're studying TOEFL. I'm going to say 60% of those 3 hours should be spent on doing 1 through 5, and then the other 40% here should be spent on step 6, which is going through the lessons in my TOEFL study guide. All right? And there you go. Good luck to you.